Hello, everybody. On tonight's episode of Backseat Quarterbacks, I said be suited up. Only one person here means business, and it's a fan of the Patriots. Darren, I understand. Your team's not in the big game. Maybe next year. We've been saying that for a long damn time. Greg, your team, or Patriot killer, your team's, I'm going to report you to the President of the United States for that. You know, I'm going to get you put in jail. Your team's in the big game. First time in a while. And you decided to show up with a black eye? Wonder who gave you that? You're looking at the guy. Little preemptive black eye after I'm going to batter his brain right now with some stats. We're talking Super Bowl 60. It feels like just yesterday was Super Bowl 50. So these Super Bowls are really going fast, and they need to get rid of the Roman numerals. But anyways, we're going to be talking about all the Super Bowl props. Should bring my mic closer. Probably sounded very quiet. We're going to talk about the game. We're going to talk about the halftime, and we're going to talk about everything else that you can imagine. Darren's watching. And we're going to talk about everything else you can imagine that we could talk about in this game. We are excited. It is going to be a fun Sunday for one of the two fans of the teams on this podcast, I'm assuming. Hopefully we have a good game. I think we will. And yeah, enjoy, everybody. It's going to be a good podcast, I think. One of us showed up meaning business. It was a business trip for me. So without further ado, here is Greg, you son of a gun, and Darren. How you doing, Greg?
Man, I'm going to be honest with you. I've had better days. The black eye has a whole story behind it. There was no altercation with Patriots fans or other sports fans. This was a parenting mishap very early in the morning. But no, I'm so excited for this week. I'm excited to talk this game over with you guys. I mean, Seahawks, Pats, about a 10-year gap in between the tragedy that was. Can't wait for this. I think it's going to be a fantastic game. I think it's going to be a good one, and one that we're both going to enjoy. I think some of us might enjoy it a little bit more than others.
Darren, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm excited. I think that this is going to be an incredible podcast. We get you two going at it. I can't wait for it. Your guys' teams in the big game. This feels every year when the Super Bowl comes around, I forget how much I love the Super Bowl. And now that it has been slightly dampered by the Chiefs dynasty run that they had there. It kind of turned into a little bit of a hate watch. I feel like this is the first time in a long time when I can kind of kick back and just enjoy what I hope to be a fantastic game. I'm excited.
Do you have a rooting interest? Who are you rooting for?
I think I'm gonna be cheering for the Seahawks. Yeah. I think
you want to be able to keep my money because you know that I won't be on this earth anymore. The Seahawks won this game. Is what you're assuming. You want me to be driven to death? Okay, well, nice to know that I'm with two foe. I thought I was with a friend, but I have two foe in this podcast meeting room. If we were together on
both
that,
teams have fun.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, what we're gonna go over first is I guess we should go over the game. It opened at 3.5, went up to 5.5 immediately after the NFC Championship, went down to 4.5, and it stayed there. The over-under opened at 46.5, went down to 45.5, and it stayed there. If it moves from here until game time, we're recording this at about 8 p.m. West Coast time. If it moves from here to then, it'll probably move on Friday or Saturday when the money comes in. A lot of money's been coming in on Seattle. I think they have 70% of all the money right now. 4.5 point favorites in recent memory have not covered many of the spreads. If they're above 3 point favorites, Greg might have the stat in front of him. I don't know, but usually do the stats on this. It's usually underdogs cover outright. I think they're some decent number against, but I'm not trying to give speculation. Just saying the Seahawks are a heavy favorite. The Super Bowls of the last decade plus have been pretty close spreads, closer than this. I think the last one that had a spread this big was the Eagles Patriots, which we don't speak about that game in this house. So let's just get going with this one. Do you want to start, Darren? Because you're not a fan of either of these teams, or would you like me to start, or do you want to start, Greg? How would you like to do it?
I think we should probably start with the neutral party, who is Darren.
He said he's rooting for the Seahawks. So, I mean,
well, that's okay. We can.
Lightly.
Lightly.
Him and Sam Darnold do look identical, kind of. Is it a brother of yours? Oh, gingers.
The grandson of a Marlboro man. I'll take it.
Didn't get the looks of him though. I got the mom's side, whatever other side of the family.
I can kick this one off. I can
sure, kick it off, Darren. Why not?
All right, I'll kick it off. All right, my inclinations after looking at this game and seeing how these teams play, I think that the way the Seahawks can create mismatches with JSN is a problem. I think that the Patriots defense is really good. I think that they are really good. They just don't quite feel like I hate doing like the schedule talk. It's boring, but I just don't quite trust like what they've accomplished so far. And I could be completely wrong and the Patriots could come in there and I think they are going to play a close game, but I just feel like the Seahawks have more dudes. And this is probably hindsight looking back on it going into the season. Neither of these teams were Super Bowl favorites by any means. So it's not like, you know, going into the season the Seahawks were some powerhouse and the Patriots weren't. Neither of these teams are really counted as actual Super Bowl contenders. And I think that is important that they both really overachieved for what they wanted to accomplish this year. And the Patriots are way ahead of schedule in terms of like their rebuild. What, they had a 4-win team last year and now they're in the Super Bowl. That's actually absurd. I don't know how many times in history that's ever happened, if at all, honestly. So it's been an amazing season for the Patriots. And again, I don't like doing the schedule talk to take away from what they've done, but I think that the Seahawks, it just feels like they've played in a few more big games up until now. I know they played the Rams multiple times, but I think Sean McVay is a fantastic game planner, not a great special teams coach as we've seen in recent stats that have kind of come out. But he's a great game planner, and I think to talk about, well, it's playing the same guy. Sean McVay is an offensive coaching genius. He can come up with completely different game plans, and you still have to game plan around Puka. I think that the Seahawks will be able to exploit a couple weaknesses on the Patriots line. 4.5 is a little scary, but I'm going to take it. I'm going to say that they cover the 4.5, and that was my early lean on this game, and I've kind of sticked with that. I'd bounce back and forth a little bit, but I think I am going to pick them to cover reluctantly. I think that this very well could be a field goal game, and I think that might come back to bite me. So that's my take.
Okay. Greg, why don't you go second? We go in reverse order this time.
I like it. Yeah, going off of some of the things you said, Darren, this is actually the least likely at the beginning of the season, the least likely combo of teams that Vegas had going to the Super Bowl. So if you had put a ticket on this, I saw something where it was like a crazy payout, like $1,000 bet was made, and it's going to pay out like $500,000 if the Seahawks win. They have an exacta, so the Seahawks still have to. But
you're looking at a guy that has that with the Patriots. I didn't want to tell anybody until this podcast, though. I haven't exactly.
You may want to hedge a little bit just to ensure some cash.
Nah.
But it's the one that nobody had on the radar, and these are two teams that missed the playoffs last year, right? So not crazy that we weren't exactly in the running for this to happen. But I think it's a tale of two teams that look pretty similar in a lot of ways. I think they've got two of the top 2 or 3 defenses. I think they both can make it run on offense really well. I think that the matchup is going to be uh, a lot more competitive than I think a lot of the country is giving it credit for. And where you got to see it is, well, okay, we've knocked the Patriots so much for having a weak schedule and just having every advantage thrown their way in the playoffs, and ultimately they've been winning games. So you have
Mhm.
to give them credit for what they've done, and to get to the Super Bowl, you don't do it by mistake. That said, I feel like Seattle is the more complete team. I feel like we are stronger positionally almost everywhere. Aside from quarterback, I think Drake May is the better quarterback. There has been some moments in the playoffs where he's looked quite human, but side by side, I think it's clear his trajectory is well beyond what Darnold is going to reach during his whatever, how many years he has left. Um, the 4.5 is high, but I have to take it with the Seahawks. At this point, it's a homer pick. I know that. If I were picking this in the regular season, I'd probably go with the Pats 4.5 just because the 1.5 point hook is ridiculous.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think my stronger play, if I were to get a choice, would be to the under. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game. I think that particularly in the first half, I think it's going to be um, very close to the hip, very conservative. Let's not screw it up and give it to the other team. And so I have faith this is going to be a really interesting game, and it may be very similar to the last time these two teams met up, where it comes down to the last part of the fourth quarter, and one play or one drive swings it the other way, or maybe we potentially even get another overtime. But
Yeah.
I'm excited for this game. I can't wait. However it happens, I'm just so excited for the Seahawks to be facing the Pats again. It's so strange that this is the first team that we're facing again in a Super Bowl, and I'm kind of scared of it. But bring on the heartache or bring on the joy. So it's going to be a fun day. Sterling, what do you got, man?
Yeah. You know what, Greg? Number one, congrats to your team. I went through a lot of things thinking about this game. A lot of people that are Seahawks fans. I promise that if the Patriots win, I'm not going to shit on the Seahawks on this Sunday podcast. Now, I will say if the Patriots lose, we will not be doing a Sunday podcast. I can also say that, and I know that people will text me if the Seahawks win that game and just be trying to drive me to jump off my balcony. That will happen. So, everybody that listens to this podcast, just know I'm not going to text you if the Patriots win. I'm not a douchebag like that, but they will be douches to me, and it's okay. But congrats to your team. I
And
have
congrats
been.
to your team too. I know
Thank
this
you.
is unexpected for both of us, so let's enjoy it. Either way it goes.
Yeah, no, I agree. I have been trying to not be a homer and just say the Patriots are going to win this game, and I've been trying to divorce myself from being a fan of the Patriots while trying to prognosticate and handicap this because I do want to make money on this too. I'm not just trying to be a blind optimist because that's how you get over your skis and lose a lot of money. And I think the cases you're going to end up making when we end up diving into some of this stuff probably can convince me in a different way. Just from the pure standpoint of covering 4.5, I think if the Seahawks are able to win the game, I think the point you made about being an under is how they're going to do it, where it's a defensive battle. And I just think that that would lean towards New England covering 4.5. And that makes me like the New England side no, regardless of anything. And then I think if it's a high scoring game, which I personally think it's going to be a bit of a high scoring game, um, I think that would be if you think Seattle wins there, maybe they cover because it would be. I mean, I guess I was going to say 28-24. That was the score of the last Super Bowl. They wouldn't cover 4.5. But if it's 31-24 or something like that, that would be a cover if the Seahawks were able to win that way. But I just think that it's going to be more of a high scoring game, and I think the Patriots are going to win. My inclination is that I think what Darren said about the schedule is a real thing. I don't want to be divorced from that reality that the Patriots have played a lot of teams that have fired their coach and a lot of bad quarterbacks. They've played a lot of good defenses, though, especially recently, and they've played in
Mhm.
terrible weather. And I know May's struggled, but the Seahawks defense it might be better than the Chargers defense. I think it is. I don't know how much better it is than Houston, especially with how Houston's played, and Denver with how Denver's played. Although Denver struggled against Buffalo, but Denver's been really solid in the second half. It's hard to really judge how good Seattle's been in the second half of the season because of how many of the games they've played against repeat teams and I just can't. I don't know how good the 49ers are. And the Rams, I think, are great, but the Rams have their number offensively. So I really don't know how good Seattle's defense has been. It's hard for me to really judge them based off of their opponents they've played in the last month because it's been 49ers twice, Rams twice, and the Panthers. And so when I go through this, I just feel like they haven't played anybody new except for Bryce Young. And that's got me kind of scared if I was to pick them that this can be a like a spark against them where it's like, oh geez, we've never seen a quarterback like this in months because Stafford's great and Stafford's a different quarterback though. He doesn't move at all and he can read a defense. And to their credit, and I make fun of the simulated pressures all the time. The simulated pressures do spook young quarterbacks a lot because they don't read defenses like Stafford. And that's one of the main things that we've talked about. You're going to mention this stat, I'm sure, and I don't want to steal anything from you, but the quarterbacks under the age of 24, and Mike McDonald has been just lights out against them. I do think that is I don't want to discredit anything about Mike McDonald and his defenses, but it's hard to find good quarterbacks under 24. I think it's really Daniels, Caleb Williams, and May. I don't know if I'm forgetting anybody that would be in that age group that's good, but the basis though is it's hard to read that defense and figure out who's blitzing and who's not, and who's coming and who's not. This is long-winded because we're going to get into what we think and where the matchups are, but I do think the Patriots are going to win, and I'm very confident in it, and I don't like that I'm so confident in it because the last time I was this confident in a Super Bowl was that aforementioned Eagles one against Nick Foles, who ended with me, and I've shared this on the podcast before, going into my walk-in closet and laying in there with a 16-ounce glass of what is that? I don't even know what brand of vodka it is anymore. I don't drink hard alcohol, but I will drink it. Like it was
Grey Goose.
Grey Goose, yeah, Grey Goose with like probably 2 ounces of orange juice in it, and being consoled, saying you'll be back. And I said, you don't know if I'll ever be back into this. And this is the thing. We think that this is very good compliments about Drake May and about the Patriots being ahead of schedule. Guess who was ahead of schedule last year? Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. Guess who was ahead of schedule when he was the youngest quarterback ever looking to win a Super Bowl in his second season? Dan Marino and the Miami Dolphins back in the early 90s or late 80s. How many did he get to again? Getting to a Super Bowl is hard. Lamar's never been to one. Josh Allen's never been to one. And so these are not to be taken for granted. And although it seems like this is going to be the start of a second run, I don't want to do that. For the Seahawks, it's the same thing. I can't imagine Sam Darnold going on a run and making 4 of these things. It's really.
I can tell you for the Seahawks fans, we're not taking this lightly. We need to get one now, and maybe we'll be back in 10 years. That's fine with me. We'll take that.
Yeah. I mean, these are really once in a generation opportunities for a lot of teams, and I think we've kind of like have rose-tinted lenses if you're a Patriots fan, thankfully, or a Chiefs fan, or I guess the Eagles have done it a lot too. But and the 49ers get to them and they lose. But Darren here, he's just sitting there silently. He has a tear welding up in his eye that Aaron Rodgers only got to one Super Bowl in his life, and it's the thing where these are not obvious. These like next year, I don't expect the Patriots to just magically go on another run and be like, yeah, we're back. If they do, cool.
Yeah,
I'll take another Tom Brady. But I do think the Patriots end up winning this because I'm probably in a disagreement with you where I do think they have favorable matchups in some of the important spots. The Seahawks have really good matchups with JSN. I think he's a cheat code. You can't stop him. You can contain to an extent, but you will have weaknesses at other spots. But yeah, we can get into that. We can get into the discussion. So you two are on the Seahawks. I'm on the Patriots. You leaned to the under, Greg. Darren, where do you lean on the over under?
I've gone back and forth on this one as well. I'm gonna lean to the over because I want there to be points. I don't necessarily think there will be. I want the points. So I'm gonna speak it into existence. I want to be able to cheer for it. I don't want to cheer for the under. I wanna lean to the over, and I want to cheer for the over.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So a few questions before we get into the didgeridoo of the game. Questions for both of you, I guess. Take them as you will. Do you think Clint Kubiak had Mendoza highlights when he put them on the big screen to go over Patriots defensive highlights? You think he had some Mendoza highlights on there on accident? And Sam Darnold saw it and gave him one of those shiners that you have on your face, Greg. Any chance Kubiak has a shiner right now?
Oh God, I don't know, man.
I
I don't like all this like coach interviewing in the middle of a Super Bowl run thing. I hate it so much, and it's just such a distraction for the entire organization. And of course, as a Seahawks fan, I especially hate it. But can't we just can't we just pause everything until after the Super Bowl? Like it's the biggest game of these guys' lives, and they're forced to go on the road and interview because they have to. I get it. I don't blame
Mhm.
Kubiak, but it's just ridiculous. Why can't we just pause it till after the Super Bowl?
Every team
Um,
should have to pause. I'm serious. Like just because you get knocked out earlier doesn't mean you should be able to
yeah,
interview. Like it should be Monday, whatever the day is after the Super Bowl every year should be officially when coaches get to interview. If you hire a coach on that Monday, you get fined your first round pick. You better wait because you better not break the rules. I agree because it's like this every year. I can't
yeah,
believe it. Teams lose in the playoffs, or teams even win a playoff game. The next day they're doing a Zoom meeting, doing a 4-hour interview. By the way, 4-hour interviews or 3-hour interviews are insane. Yeah.
yeah.
That, what do you think, Darren? You
Yeah.
think he was watching some Mendoza?
I mean, hopefully not, but it's I agree with you guys, and to the point that you made earlier, this is the biggest game for a lot of these guys, and I think that a lot of people probably have clouded judgment on how easy it is to get to these Super Bowls because we've seen teams like the Patriots and the Chiefs and the Eagles, and it's like, yeah, those teams like they've hit like a once in a billion, once in a trillion jackpot, especially the Patriots. That's never going to be done again, and then like the Chiefs, it's like the same thing. Like that doesn't happen very often. That's like a once in a lifetime experience for those fans and that fan base. And it just sucks that, some of these guys have to like go and do these interviews to take these shitty jobs where it's like you're going to be fired in 2 years anyways, but you still want to have your chance at being the head coach and turning around the Raiders. Like it sucks, but it is what it is. I get it. You want to be a head coach. I wish it wasn't like that, but you know.
Wasn't it Patricia that took the Lions job after the Patriots gave up the Eagles Super Bowl? And it's like,
Mhm.
hey, buddy, what the hell is that?
Yeah,
You just let Nick Foles not kick a punt against you guys? I don't know. They
Jonathan
give.
Gannon did that against after he left the Eagles after they lost to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get you scared about this, Greg. I'm sure he's locked in with
Kellen Moore
the.
left for the Saints last year after he won. He
That
won
game
the
was in New
Super Bowl.
Orleans, though. He already got a house. He was ready to go.
Jonathan Gannon was already in Phoenix with that Super Bowl,
Uh-oh.
right? Yeah, that was the Eagles Chiefs one here.
Greg, I'm just saying you should be afraid now. Now I'm thinking about it, you should actually be very, very afraid. Clint Kubiak, he probably has had his dad running a meeting, I'm
yeah,
assuming.
possibly.
Gary come in. I got Gary. Gary's going to be here for this one.
That's the thing. Like, I don't think he's like, he's fine. Like, I don't think he's hard to replace though. And maybe I'm totally wrong, but I don't think he's some like mastermind. Like, are we
No, I agree
serious?
with you. They're
He's
going to be a
running a,
well-oiled machine next year.
yeah. I mean, I think they're a pretty basic offense. There's nothing, it's not like a Ben Johnson thing where it's like all these like crazy, exotic things are occurring. Like, it's a pretty run of the mill, style offense, but maybe this is just Cope coming out. I have no idea.
No, I agree with you 100%. I remember last year when New England was going through the coaching search, and it was basically between Vrabel and Ben Johnson. And I kind of said I prefer Ben Johnson at the time because I want the play caller. And then I've seen the light because a play caller can't do it all. And you see what we just said with McVay when Darren brought up the special teams. McVay's a genius at offense, and he continues to show that every year with how his offenses perform, regardless of if it was Jared Goff, who I think gets a little the shit out of the stick sometimes because Detroit's been good a lot for a long time, but he's been good all the time. And then he even did good when Stafford went down last year or 2 years ago. Like the offense moves, but you see that it just the rest of it is never that good. And he loses coaches every year. But the thing is, you want, and maybe McVay's a bad version of this, like to use him as the totem pole. Maybe it's LaFleur, maybe it's Shanahan or something. But I think you want the CEO, the leader of men, and I think both of our teams have that. And Mike McDonald and Vrabel. So I'm actually obviously like I think we made the wrong choice. We should have went with Ben Johnson. No, I'm very happy with Vrabel, but I think that you want that now because it's very hard to do both jobs, call plays and also like game plan. And you see it with like Andy Reid. Andy Reid does not call plays. Belichick, who's the best defensive mind ever, didn't call defense. He had people doing that. So I think it's very hard to do two jobs at once. We'll see if Kubiak calls plays in Las Vegas. Second question. This for
Andy
you, Darren.
Reid's Andy Reid's like the only play calling head coach that's won a Super Bowl. And
did he still call plays?
I think so. When they were maybe not. I could be wrong. I'm just like going back through like Super Bowl winning coaches. I know like Shanahan's gone to the Super Bowl and whatnot, but I'm trying to think of other. I guess McVay would be when the Rams won it. That would probably be the only one that I can think of.
Yeah.
Recently.
Yeah. Second question for you, Darren. Do you think the Patriots are going to play harder now because their owner also reportedly got snubbed from the Hall of Fame? Robert Kraft also is not making the Hall this year. So now it's Belichick and Kraft. And then you can also answer this, Darren. Or Greg.
Yeah. I mean, when you run an organization that is built on cheating and and inappropriate conduct with masseuses, I think that, you know what, a 1-year penalty is just fine.
Darren might be in those files too. We don't know.
Have
you looked your name up yet, Greg? You might be in those files.
I think everybody's in those files at some point.
I was invited, but I declined. I said, I'm good, man.
I suggest everybody goes and listens to the first episode of this year where we did Epstein's quarterback list, which is probably the greatest bit that we've ever done on this podcast. And it actually is maybe the perfect thing that we've ever done. That right now, Craig's looking himself up.
I have to shut my door.
The third question: would it kill Tom Brady to be a little bit of a homer? You know, I'm trying not to be a homer here, but I didn't play quarterback for the team for 20 years.
Yeah.
I was on a Patriots fan forum yesterday, and on one of the threads was giving him. He said, "I don't have a dog in this fight." When they asked him who's his pick, Tom.
Oh, Tom.
You don't got to be objective here. You could just say, you know, I played 20 years in this place. I made a comment on there saying, you know, he treats Foxborough in New England like it was just a stop in his life. It's like he treats like Tampa or Michigan.
I was going to say, he treats it how he should be treating Tampa.
Yeah. I couldn't believe that comment. And then there was people defending him saying like, well, it's in his contract. He can't play favorites. And I'm like, do you think Fox is going to fire him? And do you think they'd have cause to fire him? Edelman is on Fox also. He always is playing favorites. Gronk is always playing favorites.
Yeah.
Jason McCourty is on NBC. Devin McCourty's on NBC. He says we when he talks about New England. What are we doing?
People love it when guys do that. People love it when people like the recent players are homers to their team. It's entertaining.
It's honestly offensive how much he hates New England, and that's part of the thing. I hope New England wins is not obviously just because I'm a fan of the team, but I'm ready to move off them. I've been saying this for a long time. I'm ready to move on to Drake May as being the GOAT of this franchise. Take the statue down. Take the statue down.
He's overexposed. Like I didn't think Tom Brady could be more overexposed, but he is at this point. It's actually kind of annoying.
Is Wilson who wants their team to win least? in this. Does that make sense? My question here.
No,
Pete
who
Carroll,
wants?
Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, Russell Wilson. Rank
Oh,
them 1
Tom
to
Brady.
4.
Tom Brady, 100%.
Tom Brady.
100%.
You don't think it's Pete?
No, I don't think. I think Pete is rooting for the Seahawks. I don't think Pete has that bone in his body. I really
Okay.
don't.
I
Tom
actually agree with
Brady.
you.
Yeah, I mean, and I love Tom Brady. I love him, but he's the most competitive guy out there, right? That's what makes him so good. And I guarantee you, he's now he's in legacy mode, and he's been in that mode for a while. And yeah, I think he is definitely a undercover Seahawks fan.
Yeah, I think
I-
him and maybe Belichick a little bit.
Belichick's 4th on that, I think. His PR is at an all-time high now that he got out of the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Everybody's
I know, but he doesn't want them to move off of him that fast and win another super. He doesn't want Robert Kraft to go and win another Super Bowl.
That's fair.
You know,
That's fair.
I can't imagine these guys get to this level without having a little bit of that. I mean, obviously they have like that crazy competitiveness, but like that little bit of jealousy. Like, I'm sure Bill Belichick's happy for his former player, but you know, the student's replacing the master now, and it's like, hey, you shouldn't win your first one. You gotta lose a little bit, but
I think Belichick is last on that list out of those 4. It's him and Carroll. I think Carroll's I
yeah.
think Carroll's for the Seahawks actually openly. He probably is pissed that he's going to be showing the Malcolm Butler play thousands of times over the last week and a half and up until they're going to show that so many times on the game. It actually will probably annoy everybody, especially before the game starts. And if the Patriots are winning and the Seahawks have the ball at the end of the game, they're going to show that
God.
3 or 4 times. I think that number 1 is Brady and Wilson because I don't think Russell Wilson's watching the game. I'm gonna assume he's gonna be posting on his Instagram story during the game. He's gonna be like skiing with Sierra. Is what I would put money on that. He's gonna be in like Aspen or something.
I
He'd be
could
like,
see
oh yeah,
that.
I booked this months out in advance. And they're like, this was Super Bowl is always on the stage, Russell. You're the starter for the Giants.
I could also see him doing that. I could also see him doing the exact opposite and posting on like
at the
in
Super
full
Bowl.
uniform, like in his old Seahawks like pants, shoulder pads, and jersey, watching on his couch.
Yep. How about
Go
in the
Hawks!
stadium? In the stadium.
Ooh, maybe.
Yeah. That's all the questions I had. I just wanted to ask some fun ones. Do you have any, Darren or Greg?
Not a fun question. Kind of, or I guess yeah. You know what? Let's make this a question. Do you think the reason Drake May said that his favorite quarterback growing up was Aaron Rodgers and not Tom Brady was because Tom Brady said that Stafford should be the MVP hands down?
I don't know, but I will tell you this. That's a good question, and I bet you that Brady saw that and it pissed him off.
Brady's
You know
gonna
what's
be in like a
crazy?
12 jersey on at the game. He's chirping Drake May on the sideline.
It'd be so funny if Brady's like vlogging because he has a YouTube now and a newsletter and all that. I don't know what he's doing. He does not need this. He does not need this outlet. Okay.
Wow.
But it'd be so funny if if Brady is just shit talking to him and saying, "You better win this one if you ever want to get anywhere near me. This is your one chance to have any chance to get near me." That's always going to be the second best in this franchise. You got to go to Carolina. You got to go home. Cam Newton's down there too because he loves the Panthers.
Mac
my
Jones is down there,
no, Mac Jones
just
isn't down there.
hanging out in the South.
Oh, it's his team.
Yeah.
Well, he plays on the 49ers. He has access to the locker room.
Cool.
The last one that I just thought about. Did you see what's happening with Fanatics and how they're in kind of hot water with the patch, the jersey patch and everything? So the actual on-field patch, you can look this up, Darren, if you want. And Greg, I don't know if you have the capabilities because you don't have the things with you. Your computer you left at work on the most important day of the year. The on-field patch, they obviously stitch it on for every jersey for the players. And back when it wasn't Fanatics that made the jerseys. If you bought a Super Bowl jersey, which I never did because I was young and didn't have money when the Patriots were making Super Bowls, and also I just bought regular jerseys in case they lost because they would be sold out. So I did not want to risk anything. Bad karma. They would be stitched on too. So somebody would either it would look stitched on or they would be stitched on. They put the non-patch on both teams' jerseys, and the jerseys are the most. They aren't the jerseys anybody wear. I don't even know how to describe it. It's the most low quality jerseys that they're selling at the game, and they had to come out with an apology today. And my question for both of you is: should Michael Rubin be slugged? And for those of you
I
that
don't think that's cruel enough.
yeah, he needs to be in prison for life. Well, yeah, I don't know what's crueler than slugging. For those of you that don't know what a slugging is, but we're not going to describe that on this pod. It's proprietary. I have a patent pending on it. The tactic I'm pitching to the U.S. government and other foreign governments. Yeah.
What's that? I don't see that.
Your camera's kind of blurry, Darren, but
What is that?
it's a Patriots jersey that they have. It's a Patriots jersey they have for sale right now with the patch. It's terrible. Send it in the group.
Okay.
Send it in the group, Darren.
No, there's no way these are the actual jerseys here.
That's the ones that are for sale in San Francisco. And then the hats they have.
That looks like a T-shirt.
No, they have T-shirts. They have jerseys because they didn't have enough jerseys. They didn't make enough product because they didn't think these teams were going to be there. It was insane. They were not prepared for this. The only jerseys you can get for the Patriots and for the Seahawks, for that matter, in Santa Clara, are basically alternates that they will never wear. They're like gimmick jerseys, and they're finally sending more. They're mass producing them quick, so you know they're going to be bad quality. My question is, should Michael Rubin be? He needs to be arrested.
How did he get these? How did he get these deals with these sports leagues to make this? He's always made a shit product, and it's horrible. Is it strictly just the money?
I haven't seen the JSN one. That's insane.
Yeah, that the Seahawks are wearing their blue jerseys.
What do you guys thought? What's the JSN one? Can you show? Oh,
I just texted it in the group chat.
Oh, okay, I see it now.
$160 for that too, by the way.
You're kidding me.
$160 is what they got on the price tag there.
Is that screen printing?
Yeah, all of it's screen printing.
Yeah.
The only thing, and then also the patch that they have on there, just for what it's worth. Do you see how bad the patch looks?
Yeah.
It's a screen printed patch, and it's not the same patch. Like the colors are off.
Kidding me?
Yeah.
People are buying these.
For
that's $120.
$160.
$160 for that.
Yeah.
You used to be able to get a real jersey for that much money. Actually, for less than that.
Oh yeah. And it used to be a lot better quality too.
That's horrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
Oh man.
That actually that ends the questions.
It looks like a T-shirt. It looks like a T-shirt. It is a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. I don't know. Is he just making everything? Is he making everything in America? Are we talking about tariffs now?
I don't know. Everything's just getting worse and more expensive.
Labor costs.
Yeah.
This is the quality of the one from 2015 that I just sent in the group chat.
I know. It's a good quality. This is
the Seahawks one from 2015. You can look at it for reference.
I've got it in my closet. I bought one for my wife that year. It's the Super Bowl one.
Yeah.
And
so
yeah. It's that same one.
Okay. Well, Michael Rubin.
Yeah. That's
you're
insane.
burning.
Slug him.
Yeah, slug him. Slug him.
That's horrible.
Let's bring in the slugger. Bring in the slugger.
Okay. I feel like these are personal comments at this point, and I take offense. Okay, I didn't get punched in the face. This was part of my parenting.
See, this is the thing. Not many people know what slugging is, and if you know what slugging is, you know it does nothing to do with fisticuffs or brouhahas.
I don't know the lingo.
It has to do with slugs.
Okay, slugs, like actual slugs.
Mm-hmm.
I just sent it in the group chat.
Oh no. No arms. No.
Anyways, now we're into serious business. Before we get into props, let's talk about why we think what's going to happen is going to happen. Okay. Should we just go in the same order, or do you want me to go first this time?
Let's do a snake. So we'll have you go first, and then we'll go back to me, and then to Darren.
Okay. We could have just said let's do a slug. Uh,
There you go.
they slither. The So my basis for this game, and again, I really tried hard to convince myself out of the Patriots winning this, and mainly for what I plan to wager when it comes to props, and just to not have high expectations more than anything. I'm going to root for the Patriots regardless, obviously, but I did kind of all the credit again. I don't even know why I'm bringing him up here, but all the credit to Mahomes for doing this to me, because I picked against the Chiefs the last 3 Super Bowls, and a lot of it came down to who's the better team versus they just have Mahomes. And a lot of people are prognosticating that it's the Seahawks have the way better team and the Patriots have the better quarterback. And obviously Drake May's not experienced like Mahomes, so he's not Mahomes. I just don't think that the Seahawks team, and I know that, Greg, you're going to throw out DVOA, and that's a very real stat, but I've started to actually doubt it based off of the great DVOA teams of years recent that have failed to make Super Bowls, and a lot of that was actually due to Patty, because he beat them in the playoffs, but it really has become a metric that I just don't trust anymore. I much rather look at EPA. And when you look at weighted DVOA, and this is very nerdy spreadsheet talk, the teams are closer. Obviously, the Seahawks are an all-time great team. I think they're ranked 7th all-time. But the teams end up being closer. The Patriots are ranked, I think, 7th this season instead of being 15th if you don't weight DVOA. I like looking at the EPA per play. I'm not talking about the Environmental Protection Agency. I'm talking expected points added. And I think Ben Baldwin on runningbacks.don't-matter.com, RBDSM or RBSDM.com, has the greatest layout here for when you look at who's been better later in the season. And the defense for Seattle is clearly that they played better teams. And I think that defense kind of falls flat when you look at who the Patriots played in the playoffs and who Seattle's played, because it's just the Rams the later half of the year. I don't credit the 49ers like people do. I think the 49ers turned into a pumpkin team because of all the injuries. And that could be a total place where I have a blind spot. And you know what? So be it. That's how I look at it. So be it. I think the Rams are great. I think the Rams have the Seahawks number in terms of how they can do offensive efficiency. But I look at the games where teams use the 11 personnel, and the Patriots use it more than any other team, and the Seahawks struggle against it. The other team that uses it a bunch and a shit ton is the Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers had a ton of success against them. And I know that I just outlined 2 of the 3 losses that they had this year, and the first one was against the 49ers in week 1. But the thing is, they played a lot of teams that can't line up like the Patriots can. And when you look into who they played from their defensive standpoint, they just didn't play many good quarterbacks, and I think that matters. And I know that it's laughable that I'm using a schedule talk against the Seahawks. I'm not trying to do that. I think you have to look at matchups, and you look at the amount of zone they play. They play more zone than any other team. You look at how good Drake May is against zone. You look at when they blitz, how they blitz. You look at the personnel that the Patriots play in. They play in more 11 than any team in football, and this is the offense versus defense. The Seahawks defense is for real. They're legit. The only time they've looked bad at all is against the Rams and that Bucs team. And maybe I'm an idiot because I think Drake May is great. I think he's the first, second, third, fourth, or fifth best quarterback in football, and I think he is going to be that for a long, long time. But I really believe that he's a quarterback that they haven't really seen play. They haven't seen a quarterback like that all year, and the closest they had was a half of Jaden Daniels before he broke his elbow, because he moved a lot. And they I can give more info on their defense, but offensively, and this is the inverse with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold has flatly been bad the second half of the season. He's been I wouldn't say bad, a middling quarterback, except for the second game against the Rams in the NFC Championship, which should give you a lot of hope because that was the biggest moment of his career and he was great in it. And I do not want to take anything away from Sam Darnold. As much as I say, I'm rooting for the Patriots, if the Seahawks win, believe me, there is a little bit of me that will laugh because Sam Darnold will be the first quarterback from that class that wins the Super Bowl, right? Like I'm gonna laugh at that he won one over Josh Allen and all the shit that the Bills have given. And Lamar, although Lamar I don't have any hatred for outside of the fact that he didn't beat Mahomes in any of these playoff games with that great team that they had based off DVOA and how I lost a lot of money betting on the Ravens over the course of the last half decade. So I do like Sam Darnold. This is not meant to crap on him. But when it comes to the Patriots defense, if you look at their EPA per play in the second half of the season, and in the playoffs, it does get skewed, but if you can't really take the playoffs out of it, only for the reason that they didn't play anybody in the second half of the year, where you're going to have the same outliers where their defense was just as good as Seattle's, but they played the Jets and the Dolphins and some shit teams that it doesn't look the same. And I agree, it is not the same. The Seahawks have a better defense, and they were better. In the playoffs, their defense has been better than Seattle's. Obviously, Seattle's played 2 games, and one of those games they didn't give up anything against the 49ers. And then the other game, Stafford was lights out. So, I mean, I don't know how to weigh that. But all the credit is on New England getting here because of an easy schedule. The defense has been lights out in the playoffs. They've played in a lot of bad weather, but they've been great against the run all year. The Seahawks have one running back. I think that is a big injury. I think Charbonnet going down is probably the third biggest injury that they can have happen to them. Number 1 would be JSN. Number 1 would be Darnold. Number 2 would be JSN. And then number 3, I think, is one of the running backs, Kenneth Walker or Charbonnet. And so I do believe that that's a massive loss for them. And I just think that they're going to force this game onto Darnold. They're going to be lining up and saying, hey, you're going to have to nickel and dime down the field and beat us on 12-play drives to score touchdowns. I'm scared of the Seahawks defense forcing field goals in the red zone. That's where I lean to maybe having an under, but I like the over, as I've said. I think that this is going to be a touchdown game, but if Darnold's able, I tip the cap if Darnold's able to do what he did against the Rams, where he's able to be extremely effective, be lights out, just be laser focused and throw darts the entire game. If he does that and he wins, you just give the trophy to him, because that would be his best 2 games of his career would be in the NFC Championship game against the team that's had the Seahawks number, and then in the Super Bowl against a defense that's playing as good as any defense in football. I just don't think that's going to happen. And that's my case for the Patriots. I think their defense is playing like a defense that is possessed, and I think the offense is being extremely underrated across every single metric because of what they line up in and what Seattle actually struggles in defensively. You could take out all of the win probabilities, the blowouts. They're the best team in 11 personnel, and Seattle struggles against 11. They're like middling. They're a middle tier against 11 personnel. They didn't play many teams, and so that line up in that a lot, and that's no fault of their own. They kick the shit out of everybody, and the teams that they played that line up in this, they weren't the best against. That's all I'm saying. So that's my case. That's why I think New England wins this game. I think it's going to be a higher scoring game than most people think. That's why I'm picking New England -4.5 or +4.5. That's why I'm picking the money line. That's why you're going to see when we do our props here, I'm going to be all over a lot of Patriots props. I'm going to be over some Seahawks props too, mostly overs on a lot of things. I'm going to be pretty heavy on success and scoring and stuff of that magnitude. So there's my case. And if you don't agree with it, the people listening, it's okay. Bet against it. It's okay. I don't have any animosity. At the end of the day, I think a lot of people are going to say, if the Patriots win this, dang, we should have seen it coming. Don't say that if you're betting heavy on the Seahawks, though, because I'm telling you right now, I'm laying it out that I'm seeing it coming. I'm seeing Drake May steamroll the Seahawks defense. Successful Drake May. Sexy Drake May. Amazing Drake May. Gregory, tell me.
Yeah, I mean, I respect the optimism. I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I think that the injury to Charbonnet was probably um, one of the worst things that could have happened to that run game because he was kind of the shake to the bake of Kenneth Walker, you know, the thunder to the lightning. He has a much different style of attacking um, a front defensive line than Kenneth Walker does. He likes to, you know, mix it up, get some outside stuff going. Kenneth Walker really prefers to go right up the middle. And to have that dynamic taken away uh, right in the middle of the playoffs is rough. I think Seattle is going to struggle running the ball against the Pats. I don't think that there's any question about that. The Pats' run D is incredible. So on the flip side of that, the Seahawks run D is very good as well. I think that this is going to be a game that's going to have high variance because it's going to be won or lost on the arms of Drake May and Sam Darnold. And I'll just go ahead and say it. I think Drake May does have the stronger arm. I think he does have the arm talent that everybody talks about, which I think is a ridiculous term. I hate. But I'm going to go ahead and say it. He has more arm talent at this point in his career than I think Sam Darnold does. The problem with that is he doesn't have JSN to throw to. You know, he does have Stephon Diggs, and Stephon Diggs is a hell of a receiver. He has Booty. Booty's great. But the outlet of JSN pretty much always being available, almost unguarded. Like he's impossible to cover. And we'll see it. You know, Christian Gonzalez is going to have something to say about that. I'm excited to see that matchup. But you've still got, you know, little Cooper Cup out there. You know, you can dish out to him. He's solid hands. Uh, you know, you got AJ Barner who's been really lighting up the tight end spot. I'm excited for this game, but the reason I think it's going to be lower scoring is I think the run game is going to be negated. And you would say, well, maybe that doesn't make sense. But I think that means there's going to be more 3-and-outs. I think it's going to be harder to move the ball consistently. I think there's going to be more field goals in this game than we're probably going to prefer in a Super Bowl. And, you know, I don't like the 4.5 for that very reason that I think this is going to be lower scoring. I think this is going to be more like a low 40s type of game where that 4.5 is actually really valuable if you're taking it to New England. Of course, I can't bet that because my heart is too involved. I know your heart's too involved too, Sterling, to be particularly good at gambling on this game. But we're going to find all our angles anyways to make some money. But I really like um, the Seahawks defense being a new look for Drake May. I don't know how that's going to turn out. I am a little worried about the reliance on zone coverage and Drake May's ability to incinerate that throughout the year. He's a fan of throwing into zone coverage, and I think he excels at, you know, if they switch to man, I think he excels at that too. So, um, you know, I think I like Seahawks defense overall a little bit more, and I hope that they can get a couple more stops, God willing. But yeah, Darren, what are you thinking, man?
Yeah, I mean,
Whoa!
both of you guys had.
Packers ain't playing in this game, by the way, Darren. So let's move on. It takes two to tango, Darren. Hate to break it to you. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
I know.
You know what, Darren?
I
How
know.
about you put me in a headlock? Just kill me.
No.
Choke me out.
You're right. The Packers aren't playing in this. I've only got to witness my team in this spot one time in my life, and I've had a Mount Rushmore quarterback. So there's that. Had almost two of them. Might be on my third. I might have all Packers Mount Rushmore quarterbacks by the end of my life.
Matt Flynn.
Yep. Matt
Malik
Flynn.
Willis.
Malik Willis. He's gonna
Who
get
was-
paid this year.
Who was the guy that you had starting there in the last tune? Clayton Tune?
Clayton Tune, yeah.
Keep going, yeah.
So I think you guys make some good points on you know where you guys are sitting prospectively. Where I'm looking at this game from is I think that, you know, Sterling, you mentioned the Seahawks not necessarily being good against 11 personnel. I think that there's a lot of skewed stats out there just because a lot of these teams have played in blowout games. I think that we get a lot of bad, and I know we looked at some of that, off pod. We talked about that a little bit, about taking out, when the win advantage or the win percentage is outside of the extremes on each end, and when it's still a relatively close game. And it brings some of those stats back down to earth a little bit. There is still some trends that show that they might not be the best at 11 personnel, but what I think that they are, I think they're number 1 or number 2 in total deep ball defense, and that's one of, like, the Patriots. That's Drake May's, like, best attribute, honestly, is he throws a ridiculous deep ball, and that's one of the things I'm really excited to see in this game. Is this is essentially kind of good on good in terms of the fact that, the Seahawks have a great, secondary and great pass coverage, great defensive concepts, and Drake May has excelled all year at slicing and dicing teams up and just throwing these on the money deep balls that it seems like it doesn't matter what the defense is doing. You can't defend a perfectly placed ball. So I'm excited to see that as well. I actually think that the Seahawks might be able to run the ball a little bit on this Patriots defense. The Patriots, looking into, like, again, just trying to use the playoffs as a a temperature gauge here. They haven't played against any teams that can necessarily run the ball effectively. The Broncos are a bottom half of the team. They couldn't run the ball against the Bills, and the Bills let anybody run the ball against them. The Texans they don't have any type of an actual running game either. And the Chargers didn't have any real running game. They tried to establish the run all year, but again, that kind of seemed to die off in the second part of the season as they lost, their linemen and really lost their ability to run the ball super effectively. So I think that going into the game, you clearly have to game plan around JSN. And in addition to that, I think that the Seahawks will be able to have a little bit of success running the ball, just because I don't think you go into the game saying, hey, we got to stop Kenneth Walker. We cannot let the Seahawks run the ball. I think mission critical is we need to slow down JSN and force Sam Darnold into making bad decisions and baiting him into throws that he should not be making. And I think the Seahawks game plan is going to be, we need to get after Drake May. He's shown throughout this entire season he doesn't have the best internal clock when it comes to getting rid of the ball, and he's been quite prone to strip sacks. He's a little loosey goosey with the football when he's standing in the pocket, and I think that that could be a potential problem. So I'm that's kind of my entire analysis. I think that too many of the overall stats that we're looking at are skewed based off of who these teams have played and the situations that they're playing in. And also, I think that, I think both teams will probably be able to force each other into some turnovers, and the Seahawks just seem to have been able to find a way all year. They seem like a team who they've made some bad decisions. The Tyreek Woolen penalty last week, or against the Rams in the NFC Championship, that easily could have ended their season, and it didn't. And they were able to turn that over into an important moment of, like, hey, when this is too big to be doing stuff like that. I think it's a really important teaching moment, especially when you have a young head coach and a young defense that is playing with such intensity. I think it's almost a good thing that happened, and they were able to kind of build off of it and use it as it didn't cost them a game, essentially. So I think that they have a lot of things trending for them in the right direction. That's why I'm on the Seahawks here. It just kind of feels like it's their year.
I don't know. It also kind of feels like it's the Patriots way, Patriots year to me. Like the amount
I
of
could
luck.
see that being, yeah.
I mean, like,
the way I'm sorry, Greg, you go.
I'm just gonna say, like, the way that the playoffs broke for the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say they didn't earn their way into the Super Bowl, but they couldn't have had a better set of teams to go up against for them, and a better set of just I mean, CJ Stroud, I don't know what happened to him. He completely like just choked that game away. And I mean, that
Yeah.
the Texans
Sometimes
D
that's
kept,
what you need.
yeah.
The Patriots defense happened, baby.
Well, the Patriots D happened, but the Texans D, I mean, darn near won that game for them. I mean, they held them in
Mhm.
it as long as they could.
Yeah.
And then you had, this weird Denver snowstorm thing happen with Jarrett Stidham starting, and then not to mention, the kickoff to the playoffs for them with, the offensive line free Chargers coming into town and the sack fest that Justin Herbert got to enjoy. I mean, no discredit to the Pats, but
Yeah.
I mean, they had a great lineup. They had great luck, and that's how you end up in a Super Bowl. You need luck and skill and everything to go your way, and um,
Mhm.
it certainly has for the Pats. I mean, um,
Yeah.
and that saying that, I mean, the Seahawks very well could have lost to Matthew Stafford in the last minute there. There was a lot of
Yeah.
luck that went their way in that game too. I mean, that was not as
The
easy
muff
as the
punt.
punt. Yeah, I mean, the muff punt was huge. Um,
Mhm.
and McVay making a couple coaching mistakes again helped out too.
Yeah.
But
I,
go ahead.
I think like a lot of the things that both you said I are like agreeable, and I don't think there's much disagreement when it comes to like uh how good Seattle is.
Mhm.
It's pretty much a unanimous objective fact that Seattle has been at least a top two team. I think a lot of people would say the Rams. The Rams kind of went helter skelter at the end there with some of the injuries on their defense, but at the beginning of the season, especially that first matchup, the Rams and Seattle were the two best teams going into it. And
Mhm.
I think most people would have New England right around number 2 to 3, right? So it's like Rams, Seahawks, New England, and football. The best team doesn't always win, so it's not like it's not like you have to just crown the best team. But I think everything you're saying is right about Seattle. I think that when you're looking though at what you said, Darren, stats are skewed to
Mhm.
whatever you want them to say. Seattle, in some advanced stats, are legitimately one of the greatest teams in football history. And
Mhm.
I just, my eye test, and I've watched a lot of Seahawks games, I think they're a really good team. I think if they win the Super Bowl, it's, they're a deserving champion. There's nothing to take away from them, but they're not close to the 2014 team that lost to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. That's the best Seahawks team. That's a
Mhm.
that's a better team than the team that beat the Broncos. That's when Russell Wilson was in his
Mhm.
prime. That's when that
Yeah.
defense was really cooking. I,
I
I
want to
mean,
say one thing. I want to say one thing to that though, Sterling. Based on DVOA, our friend Aaron Shots, Shats or Shots, whoever is
shit.
on that. This is the best defense the Seahawks have ever had.
Hmm.
I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying by DVOA.
Yeah.
It doesn't pass the test to me. I would take Legion of Boom over these guys because I don't know how you don't, but statistically they're apparently better for whatever
No,
that's worth.
and that's kind of where that's kind of what point I was. I agree with you more than the analytic. I think, and I know the analytic's supposed to, you can do weighted and it's still really good. It's still better than the Legion of Boom. And I think maybe that's because I'm divorced from the time period that was. I was younger, but I can probably go back there and say like, wow, they played some really shitty quarterbacks. I look at a lot of the teams that in the NFL this season, and it's just when I look at the Patriots and who they played, you look at some of the quarterbacks the Patriots played, yeah, it's awful. I
Yep.
look at the defenses the Patriots played, I think there's some really good defenses there. With Seattle, I look at some of the quarterbacks they played. It looks really terrible. It's really disgusting. And then you look at some of the defenses they played, and they're like, wow, this offense was really grooving. And then it really kind of flip flopped for Seattle, where in the first half of the season, the offense was killing shit and they were playing bad defenses. And in the second half, they were playing good defenses, terrible offenses. And then, like, the best game to use as an example for the Patriots to watch, and I said this in the whatever podcast we did last time, Darren, is a Vikings game where the Seahawks shut the Vikings out with Max Brosmer, and I finally figured out his name. I don't know why I have figured that name out. 26-0, but you look how bad Darnold played against a really good defense. that game probably goes down as an amazing game DVOA wise for Seattle, but that game was terrible for Darnold and the offense. They could not get anything going. It was just given to them. And
Yeah,
for
and same with the Colts game. Let's not forget that. I mean,
yeah.
there's some weird
Oh, I won't
stinkers.
forget that one. That one hurt my pocketbook.
Sure. I mean, there's some weird stinkers that both teams have had, and I think if you put these guys on the field 10 times, I don't know that the Seahawks walk away with the win 6 out of 10. I mean, I think it's very even. I think that they probably get 6 out of 10, but that's just a random guess. I think there's a lot of variance between these two teams and what the outcome's going to be on.
Yep. Both these teams are I mean, the truth is, both these teams are the two hottest teams in football, and Patriots have lost one game since September, and they were up 21-0 on it. The Seahawks have lost one game since October, and it was a game they had a game-winning field goal lined up to kick, and they should have probably made the field goal, and it was a game that Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions in. So,
yeah.
I mean, to the Rams. So, I mean, it's not, and the Patriots loss was to the Bills. So, you look through their schedules, you can make arguments for both teams. You can really, it's not a tough one to make. But we can move on to props in just a minute. I forgot the one thing I didn't mention that I texted you this. You didn't text back to the text I sent you last night, Greg. It was actually for a prop, and I guess I'll just do this before Darren gets back. But it surprised me. I heard this in a different podcast, but you can get both quarterbacks to throw an interception. I'll just start with this because I agree with you. I can't believe Darren thinks that Kenneth Walker might have success. I think I think I might have success in getting him off this podcast for having takes like that. One of the dumbest takes ever. I think they're going to shut both running backs down. I think the better bet is longest rush for any of these running backs. Maybe they get one good run, but my basis is I think there's going to be a lot of attempts for both quarterbacks. Drake May is a little loosey-goosey with the ball. I don't think he's going to be strip sacked in this game for what it's worth, but I do think he has a chance to throw a pick. Seattle are ball hawks. I don't think they led the league in interceptions, but they were close. They were up there. I don't know how far down they were. I think the Bears led the league in interceptions.
Oh yeah,
they were probably number one, but the Seahawks were right there. Drake made a thrown interceptions like -130, -140. Sam Darnold to thrown interceptions the same odds, -130. Both to thrown interception +200. I do like that. I did not know this until I heard this other podcast say it, and I texted you this. Tua, he had 15 turnovers this year. His nickname is literally "Turn the Ball Over," which is insane. Geno Smith, who is going to be out of the league, I think, next year, had 18. And Sam Darnold led the league in turnovers this year, which is actually unbelievable. He had 20. In the playoffs, he has been lights out. And that needs to be included in this metric where he has not been anything but great. And he's been better in these playoffs than Drake May. And then he came into the playoffs with that maybe the little oblique injury. Obviously, he's playing. Hey, if he's on a Percocet, keep him on the Percocets. He's going to develop a drug addiction in this game. He's going to be addicted to Perkies and Xanax and codeine. Drake May is a little bit of a shoulder issue. It's good to go though, but that's my first one, I guess. Both quarterbacks have thrown interceptions +200, 2-1. I like that. Do you guys like that?
I like that. I like that. Okay. I don't know that I think there's another way to attack this.
Okay.
Which is not reliant on interceptions. You can get over to this is offshore. I'm sure that you probably have similar options with FanDuel, but over 2.5 turnovers is +110. So I think I'd rather
like
do that
actually.
Yeah. So you get plus money still, but the fumbles get included, and obviously the interceptions do too. But
so I was looking for that on our sports book, and I could not find turnovers.
Really?
On it? Yeah.
Okay.
I found interceptions. I didn't find just turnovers in general.
Okay.
But I might have to look a little harder. I was looking quickly.
It'll
God,
probably
this
be on
is
there.
beautiful. I'm just going through it right now. There's just so many things.
Oh man, it's a candy shop. So
They
my
need to
first
put they
prop.
need to put like a stop limit, like how you could do it when you're doing like day trading or whatever. You could do like, if I lose 20% on this, just get me out of it. They need to do it for me on this, because I know I'm all over the overs on everything, and they should be able to like cash me out if it's in the third quarter and the score's 7-3. Just let me eat the losses.
Just,
Give me a 50% payout, and just let me eat it. Even if they go over, just give me the 50% payout. It's gonna be
just
terrible.
get out. Okay.
Yeah, this is
My
gonna be a
first is
bloodbath.
going to be team to score the longest field goal. You can do neither/tie. So that's betting that there's not a field goal or that it's the exact same length. That's plus 1600. I'm not betting that though. So Seattle Seahawks are minus 125 to score the longest field goal. The Pats are plus 115. I'm going to take the Seahawks minus the 125. I think that McDonald is more likely to kick. I think I've seen Vrabel. He has a penchant to go for it on fourth down when it's, third or sorry, 3 yards, 2 yards. He is a little more of a gambler than McDonald. And
Mhm.
I think Jason Myers has maybe a little bit better leg than Borealis. So I would take the Seahawks minus 125. I know you're paying a little bit of a premium, but I do think that they are more likely to kick longer field. So that'll be my
I would
first
agree.
prop.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty safe. But
I like
Darren, what's
that.
your thanks?
Um, Should I go with the safe one, or should I give you a long shot right off the bat that I
We can go
like?
exotic. I mean, I don't know. We're doing our favorites versus exotic. We can go favorites. I went. My favorite is not both teams to throw a pick, for what it's worth. I have a lot better
Yeah,
favorite.
yeah, yeah. So this one again, it's not one of my favorites. I think that it's great value, um, considering how you guys were shit talking my Kenneth Walker take that I had earlier.
I'm betting
I
this
have the
one.
AirPods in. Don't you worry.
Bet this
I
one,
heard
everybody.
everything. So if you think that these teams just can't run the football against each other, Drake May to have the most rushing yards is plus 650.
I like that.
He had
I'm
like 60 yards the last game,
Yeah, he's been
and
hustling.
he had the 55 the game before.
I'm going to tell you this: 83% of QBs have gone over the longest rushing prop against Seattle this year. A lot of it's been like 3.5 yards, 4.5 yards. We're just going to be on that. I want every single Drake May rushing prop that's out there. I think his number's 36.5. There's 6.5 carries. He had 10 carries against Houston or against the Chargers, 10 carries against Denver. He is running the ball in this game. They're going to try to get a run with Ramondre. I think Henderson is the only running back I'd even bet anything on, because his numbers are so small, and you really just are taking a gamble on, is he going to play or not? Maybe the Seahawks backup running back too. Like, you're just hopeful. Like, I think he had 10.5 yards is his number. It's very, very small. So it's like, if he gets some snap count, you can just hope he gets the ball there. Henderson has some numbers that we're going to talk about in a sec, but all the Drake May stuff, the attempts, the yards, ladder it up. Over 50 yards is plus 200. Most yards in the game, I like that too. I think, again, this is to the point of, I think the Patriots win the game. I think he's going to run a lot. And I think the Seahawks defense give him that opportunity, especially how they play, and maybe you can speak to this better than I can, Greg, and maybe our friend Ryan, who I just played tennis, and he just kicked my ass, by the way, and in doubles. I hate doubles. He was really good at the net, though, today. I was like, is this Greg I'm playing against? I said, nah, he's not Italian.
Italian free tennis.
Yeah, that's my text when we had a group of 4, and I said, Italian free tennis, I'm good. But then the thing is, he talks about the simulated pressures all the time, right? Well, they drop out their defensive tackles. I think that has to be if they do that against the Patriots, that has to be a signal to just run if you're May, unless they're bringing linebackers up the middle. But still, if you're actually going to drop people back like there, you just have to be in his ear saying, hey, if Leonard Williams and Murphy or one of the two drop out, you have to go in that gap. You have to that's just immediate. Take the 4 yards and just go down. Like, I think his props are very, very profitable here. The sports books have not yet caught up with that this is the NFL now, and running quarterbacks hit their props in the playoffs. Even non-running quarterbacks that have any athleticism. Mahomes does it every year. They never price it correctly, and then they finally did it in the Eagles Super Bowl. They were like, whatever, we're going to do 40 yards and like 15 carries. Fuck it. Like, we're not letting people make money on this anymore. Because because he hit it literally, I think, 9 out of like 11 times. It was something incredible where it's yards and his carries, and they're like, we're not doing this no more. So, and I will say this, just for the other rushing prop thing, you get protection on the over 6.5 carries, whatever it's set at right now. Because if you think they win, maybe the yards is right at that number. I think it's 36.5 or 38.5. The kneel downs count as carries. And so you can kind of cross out those bets. So, because he might be out there and kneel it back, which Mahomes did that one year against the 49ers that lost people a lot of money because it was one of the most bet props. And you get protection there on the underneath. So I like all the May rushing props. Darren, that was a great one by you. Greg, what's your next one?
Thank you.
So this is interesting. I've got a couple here that I'm going to burn off.
Sure.
This is just this is the novelty one. Okay. Will the MVP say he's going to Disneyland? What do you guys think the yes is on that?
Wow. I have one for you that the MVP is minus 260 to be a quarterback. I think that's free money.
It is. Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a quarterback.
Sure.
I think the yes that he says he's going to Disneyland realistically, because I think it's going to be Darnold or May. I think they're both goofballs. They're going to Disneyland.
Oh, 100%.
You can give me a number high enough. That's a great find.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it? 7-1 or minus 700.
It's plus 800 on Bet Online. I mean, I don't know if I have no idea what's going on. I don't know if Disneyland has stopped.
Can I put money to you?
That's the question, is like, how much can you actually lay down? Like, can I deposit my entire life into this app now? Because that seems ridiculous, because the MVP always goes to Disneyland and they always announce it, right? And they have the whole commercial. And so
who wouldn't go to Disneyland?
We need to look into this, boys. I'm just going to say. And,
can we stop this podcast real quick?
Because the no is 2,500 minus 2,500. So like, is there something
does he have to say it on the podium? Is there rules about this?
They always do. They do the interview. He just has to say it. It just says, will the MVP say he's going to Disneyland? He's going to go to Disneyland.
At the end of the game.
Okay, so anyways, that's an interesting one that we
Is there like a Disney strike that we should be aware of?
That is a really good question.
They have a new CEO. They just announced a new CEO today.
They do have a new CEO. That is a good question.
But it's the theme parks guy. It's the parks guy.
Yeah, it's the dude. So anyways, going off of that.
Maybe NBC's icing him out.
So the MVP, yeah, who knows? But there's some interesting bets. So more likely than not, the MVP is going to be a quarterback, right? Like, for a receiver to get it, he has to get probably at least 2 touchdowns and like over 200 yards to even be in the running.
Yeah.
And for a defensive player, you got to have like multiple interceptions. Probably one of them's got to be a pick six. You have to change the game. It's not going to happen. So it's going to be either Sam Darnold or Drake May. Sam Darnold's plus 120. Drake May is plus 230. I don't really have a bet one way or the other on this. But what I'm going to say is, if you really like the Pats or you really like the Seahawks, don't bet the money line. Don't bet the spread. Bet on your boy. Bet on Sam Darnold plus 120 or bet on Drake May plus 230. It's a better value than betting on a spread minus 110, minus 115, or betting on, money line where you're minus 220 or whatever the Seahawks are right now. The only difference would be, I think the Pats money line's probably like plus 230 right now or something. Or 180 maybe.
I can get it right now when I go to it. It is plus 194.
Plus 194. So Drake May's still a better bet.
$30 extra.
Drake May's, a better bet.
There is no way another Patriot wins MVP. No. I just don't imagine that anybody can win that.
Yeah, if you even look at it, Ramondre is the next shortest shot for the Pats, and he's plus 3,300. Like, it's unbelievable.
Where is Marcus Jones? I mean, like, it would have to be a DB. It'd have to be Christian Gonzalez, like, getting 2 pick sixes or something. I mean,
that's what I was gonna
Marcus
say.
Jones is plus 8,000.
ooh,
That's worth a sprinkle.
Yeah,
he's great. He has 4 touchdowns this year, by the way.
he has the same odds as Jason Myers getting the NFL MVP. Plus
Now that's
8,000.
offensive. That's offensive. He should bet on himself. I'm serious. Like, that's
That's hilarious. Christian Gonzalez is plus 10,000.
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, for the Seahawks, if it's JSN, the better bet for JSN, by the way, which you bring that up, JSN is plus 650 to get 2 touchdowns. He's plus 550 for the MVP.
Oh
If
yeah,
he's going to
take
win
the
MVP,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he's plus
Mhm.
475 for MVP. So yeah, you just give him the 2
Oh, wow.
touchdowns because he could still lose MVP.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because that means Darnold has an
Yep.
insane game also.
Yeah.
The years that quarterbacks haven't won it, Cup won it, and Cup had an incredible. He had 2 touchdowns, I think, in that game, if I remember correctly, and he had like 12 catches and 160 yards, and he had a
Mhm.
winning touchdown catch. He was incredible. Edelman won it when there was no offense whatsoever in that Super Bowl against the Rams. He had,
Mhm.
I think, he had 13 catches. Obviously, Deion Branch won it. He had 13 catches or something like that in a Super Bowl long time ago in 2004. Malcolm Smith won it, where they just picked a name out of the hat. I know he had a big play, but they could have given it to anybody on the defense, and they could have given it to Percy Harvin. They just were like, who the fuck are we going to give it to? They were planning to give it to Peyton Manning, obviously, going into that game.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else that I'm forgetting? That's all I can remember. Everything else has been quarterback. You have to be so, has to be a blowout where the
Yeah.
defense, just, yeah, I agree. I think quarterback's the only way you can bet. So I think you
Yeah.
can bet both guys separately. You can also do the minus 260 or 250, whatever it is now, where you just that's laying a lot of odds, but you can make some money on that. That's not terrible odds. You put $500 on it, you get 200, you get 250 back.
Yeah.
Or 200 back.
Yeah.
What do you got, Darren?
So a prop that I kind of like here is AJ Barner over 2.5 receptions. The Pats have been not great against tight ends this year. They've given up what I have it down here, 971 yards to tight ends. It's actually it's one of the weak spots of the defense on the Pats defense, which is overall really well rounded. So I like AJ Barner. I like his yards, and I like over 2.5 receptions, which is what he's set at right now. I think that the Pats defense is going to be very locked in on JSN, and I think that this is going to leave other guys available to make some catches and some yards as well. Cooper Kupp is another one that I like. He's also at 2.5 over under. I like his over both yards and receptions.
For Barner, he's plus 230 to score a touchdown. He's their tush push guy.
Yeah, I was looking at that one as well for an anytime touchdown guy. That's not a bad one.
Under 1.5 yards, shortest touchdown, minus 130, minus 140, depending on where you look. It's hit 5 out of the last 6 Super Bowls and 20 out of the last 30. It's a great bet every year. Pass interference, somebody gets tackled on the one. It hits in a lot of games. You can't bet it every week. In the Super Bowl, you can bet it.
Yeah.
A penalty in the end zone when you throw from the 5 and you get the PI, all these.
Yeah.
That's one right there. And Barner, you could double up there. Barner, 2 touchdowns, by the way. I mean, you probably aren't going to get 2 tush pushes from him, but 2 touchdowns because he might catch one. I know you said 1.5 catches or whatever. And one of those is a red zone because he is a red zone threat. 20 to 1.
Wow.
Where's your other hand right now? Where you got that other hand?
None of your business, sir.
My favorite prop, and this is the one that I've been waiting to say, but this is one that I think is kind of being given out for free, which I do not know. I do know how it loses, but it's hard for me to imagine it loses because of who you get here. First touchdown score, under 11.5 jersey number. I just butchered that, but it's the first touchdown scorer having the jersey that is under 11.5 on the back of them. Okay, so think about who you get here. You're getting Kenneth Walker, Cooper Kupp, JSN for the Seahawks, Drake May, every single Patriots receiver that's going to be playing in this game, basically. The only people you're not getting is Shaheed and the tight ends,
Sam Darnold himself.
Sam Darnold, all the tight ends, and the Patriots running backs. So this is minus 145, minus 150, depending on where you look.
That's
But
first touchdown score.
yeah, first touchdown score, jersey
Okay.
number under 11.5.
Yeah.
Kupp, JSN, Kenneth
Yeah, I
Walker,
like that.
all the Pats, Drake May.
Yeah, I like that. How about this? Absolute dickhead proposition that I can't even believe I found, and I just have to share it. I'm not betting this, but the sports book is just trolling me at this point. How about this? Seattle attempts a pass from opponent's 1 yard line.
I saw that one.
And
It's pretty
there's
high
no,
on.
well, yes is plus 550. The no is
Yeah.
minus 1,000. And there is no version of this for the Pats, of course. It's only for Seattle.
Of course.
Yeah, that's brutal. That's just mean. You can't.
I would bet that. I'd bet the yes.
I'm not touching that.
If they get stuffed on the
there's
one.
There's too much trauma for me to bet for that to happen.
No, I
But-
understand. You don't need to bet that.
The other props that I like Pop Douglas anytime touchdown. He's plus 700.
Pop?
I think it's good value. He scored last game, or last game or the Texans game.
Yeah, the
I
Texans.
think that I think that is not bad value for how much he's on the field. And then Henderson over 7.5 yards longest run.
I love
think you
that
might have
one.
mentioned. I think you mentioned that one to me earlier. I do like that one. He's very explosive. That one feels like if he gets the opportunity, he might be able to break a little one.
I texted Greg Henderson once yesterday. That was also listening to a podcast. That's a famous podcast. That was Bill Simmons' podcast, giving that one out. But so I don't want to take any credit for that. But that one is incredible. 70 plus rushing yards is 14-1. 80 plus is 25-1. The 7.5 yards being the longest carry is clearly that they just don't know if he's going to play or not. I think his over reception total is like 1. I think it's half. So you can get that 2.5 yards for his receiving total. There's a really good chance he plays a bit in this game because of how the Seahawks play, and it's matchup dependent. I think if you bet, obviously don't 80 plus rushing yards is your lottery ticketing, right? But you can bet this. You can bet those normal props, and it doesn't mean he has a good game. It means he's out there like 10 snaps. It's the Hawani or whatever. Yeah, the backup for Seattle.
Yeah.
Very similar props where he is gonna play, and he's gonna play 20% of the snaps, and you don't know what they're gonna use him for. But Kenneth Walker receiving props, I like those too. They're pretty low on the poll of where they think the ball is going to go. But he catches the ball out of the backfield sometimes. They use Jason as a decoy a lot out of there. In the Rams game, they used him quite a bit, like running routes, and there was one play where they threw him the ball, and that's been shown on replay forever. I just don't know that it feels like they're not going to use him out of the backfield the same way this week because everybody's been seeing that. Do you know what I'm saying? Jason has ran the ball 6 times, I think this year, or 4 or 6 times, and people are saying over 1.5 rushing yards. I think the rushing yards will go to Shaheed if they're going to do that.
I think they should use him as a regular running back. Just hand the ball off. Like under center, run like power.
I like
Maybe
that.
a little counter option with JSN.
I said my favorite prop was 11.5. This is actually my favorite prop. And it's my favorite prop every year. And it's actually hit, I think, in 3 out of the last 8 Super Bowls. I'm going to bet money that it hits this time, but I'd bet money that it hits this time. Does that make sense? Over under players to attempt to pass. 2.5 plus 150. Number 1, Cooper Kupp posted a photo of him throwing the football. He attempted a pass earlier this year. He threw a pick. Doesn't really matter. Efton Chisholm's thrown a pass before. The Patriots do trick plays in the Super Bowl. They've been to a lot of them. Josh McDaniels is known to drop trick plays. It would be crazy if they don't actually do any trick plays in this game. I will tell you this, though. This will make me the most angry I think I could ever be is if they actually do run a trick play, but the over the top is covered. You know what I'm saying? And the player just runs out of bounds. Because you're not getting 2 bites of the apple if the pass is not attempted.
No.
It's not.
You get one shot.
Yeah. So, but that's plus 150. How do you like that one, Greg? You got anything?
I like that a lot. I think that if you're going to bet that particular one in any game, the Super Bowl is the one to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's just, everything gets unloaded. And, of course, the Philly special, we all remember that. That was probably the most famous version. Well, I'm not. Sorry.
I remember Malcolm Butler picking the
okay.
throw the ball at the 1 yard line.
I didn't actually mean to taunt you there. I was just saying that's like probably the most famous iteration of it in recent memory. But yeah, I love that. I love the over 2.5 because it will likely happen. Yeah.
Let's talk shit about the Packers. I mean, they had a terrible game against the Bears. I can't even shit talk that one though. I lost so much money on it. Greg, what else you got in this one?
I almost lost my life.
This one is like you got to have some cojones, but I think you will cash. You're gonna have to put down a fair amount. Drake May to complete his first pass attempt. Yes, minus 225.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Every single first pass that I see this guy throw, it's usually like a little screen pass or like a little 5-yard dunker, and that's true of a lot of quarterbacks, and they're trying to get just the rhythm going. They're not throwing a deep ball. They want a completion. They want to get their rhythm down. So I really like that. And I think it's about the same for Darnold, but I'd rather bet it for May. And it's very square money. That's expensive, but he will make that first completion. I do believe.
I think to go along with that, it might be to this guy. I would not stack any of these. I don't even know if you can, but it would be you could do Hunter Henry. I think his yard total in the first quarter is over half a yard. His over under in the entire game is 38.5, which again, that goes into the play where you said, Darren, that the Patriots give up a lot of yards to tight ends. The Seahawks are terrible against tight ends because of how they play. They funnel everything to the middle of the field, which is where tight ends sit. That's not to say they're bad. That's just they're fine doing that because that's a good strategy. It makes teams nickel and dime down the field. Hunter Henry, I like his props, but I think his first pass, if you're just going into game script, right? Say they get the ball first, say they get a punt, say the Seahawks score a touchdown on the first drive. No matter what, Drake May is on like the 30-yard line, 35-yard line. It's a little squeak out to Hunter Henry. 1 yard, 2 yards. You might get 2 props there for the price of 1. You could bet them both. I could see that. You envisioning that right now? I don't see your other hand, Greg.
I have my phone here. I'm trying to look at props. Like you keep calling me out. I'm feeling gross.
Good. Hey, it's natural.
It's natural.
We're all animals. We're all dogs.
Yeah, we sure.
What you got, Darren?
Wait, Greg, you like the under, right? Sterling, you like the over?
I like the over more.
I think if you like the under, I think that this might be a good one for you. Any quarter to end scoreless, plus 260. If you think that there's either a slow start, which it's still possible that, it's again, the 2 first-time Super Bowl appearing quarterbacks and pretty young rosters with not a lot of, I was listening to another podcast. I think there's only 7 players combined between these teams, including Sam Darnold's one of them, considering he was on the 49ers when they went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, that have had any type of like that have been on rosters in Super Bowls, and I think only a handful of them have recorded snaps. So
You
there's
just bet
not a lot of experience.
Could you just bet the first quarter be the scoreless quarter? Because I don't think the second or third. It would be the first or the third, right? I mean, I don't think the second or
Well,
fourth
he's
would
getting
be.
value though. He's just saying any quarter.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to bet first quarter 0-0, that's plus 750.
Ooh, that I like a little bit more than any quarter.
Yeah.
Wait, so what's any quarter?
So if they don't score in the second quarter, if they don't score
No,
any
but I mean,
points
We
in the third,
understand the
I
fucking.
understand the
yeah,
what's the odds on that?
plus 260.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's definitely
So
going to be a field goal in the second quarter, at least an attempt, right?
yeah,
At the end of the half, there's gonna.
you'd think.
Yeah.
And then another one that I like, where'd it go? Drake May. Since again I like the over on this. Drake May and Sam Darnold to combine for 500 passing yards is plus 175.
Well, if that happens, the over's hitting. The game
Yeah,
score over. Didn't you say you like?
yeah.
Oh, you said you liked over.
I
Okay.
like the over. I was just giving the
500 passing yards.
prop as a, if you like the under, here's another option. Or if you think that it's going to be a
Okay.
slow start or whatever. I like the over. I'm hoping for a lot of offense. I think that'd be a fun prop to cheer for.
Yeah. Drake May to get 100 yards in each half, passing yards, plus 160.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that I don't know. I don't know that I like that one, but
how about 30 passing yards in each quarter? Or do you think that's too?
I like that better. I like that better.
Well, you're in luck. That's plus 180. You had better odds.
Yeah, I think that's a much better bet.
50 passing yards in each quarter obviously would equal out to 100 yards in each half. So you
Yeah.
won't like this one, but it's plus 850.
What about any player to record 506 passing yards in a game? That's
Yeah, what is that?
100,
Yeah.
150 to 1.
It's the same odds as somebody to get 206 rushing yards or whatever the record is from.
Yep. 216 receiving yards.
Yeah. None of that's happening. JSN, I guess, can get the 216 receiving yards. But yeah. Do you have anything else, Craig or Darren?
Yeah, I'm still going. Let me
Keep
get back
going. Yeah,
to-
you got Charlie Puth or whatever. I tested you at that one.
Oh yeah, and I've got that on my hold on 1 second.
You're
And
friends
I've
with them,
got
aren't
an
you?
I've got an angle on that, okay? Let me
Probably.
find that. The over under for Charlie Puth singing the national anthem in the United States of America at the National Football Championship game XL is over. It's now over 122 and a half seconds, which is getting long in the tooth. But Charlie has been interviewed about this national anthem that he's going to do. And he said it's going to be a production. He is bringing in a choir. There is going to be like this drawn out production. This guy is going to milk every second of this anthem of ours that he can. I think it sails over 122 and a half. So it started out at 120. It's been creeping up. It's probably going to be even further out by game time. But the smart money, 65% of bets are on the over right now. And remember, it doesn't start the clock until the first word is sung and the last word is finished being sung. So that's how you have to go by it.
If I was a singer and I got this opportunity, I would be
All right.
such a
This is a retirement bet right here. Yeah.
Yeah, I would literally make sure that I would never go bankrupt right here. Every single person I know would be betting on this.
Yeah.
And I would just take 15% off the top.
Generational wealth would be generated.
And also the halftime show, if I'm Bad Bunny and Kid Rock on the other side of it.
Absolutely.
You got any lines on the offshore on Kid Rock halftime show?
I was just about to ask.
You doing turning point halftime drops?
So there actually is a bunch of props on the pregame regarding like I guess Green Day is playing. And so there's some prop bets on that. Let me see if I can pull them up.
Nah, I think we're okay off the Green Day prop bets, honestly.
Okay.
We don't need
You want Kid Rock? Kid Rock is playing too?
Yeah, not at the game. He's doing the alternative halftime show.
Oh,
That
for the real Patriots.
well, you're the Patriot killer, so I thought you know about this.
Oh
I thought
God.
you helped plan this.
I
You guys booked him.
okay.
This is your doing.
Okay.
Keep going on the props. Give Darren the Aerosmith, or I mean the Green Day props. Sorry, I can't believe I
Well,
confused this. I'm gonna go grab a beer. You give some Green Day props.
I'm trying to find them.
I would like
I-
to find a potential set list for Kid Rock at the alternative. I want to see if you can bet on. I wonder if he's going to play. What is it? American Badass. Is that one of the, what's his songs?
American
I need to
Idiot.
find some. No,
Oh,
that's Green Day.
yeah, you're talking about okay.
Yeah, let's see
Uh,
what kind of. Okay, all summer long. Guarantee you that's that one's being played. Cowboy, Bobinawa has got to be played. Cocky, yep. American Badass, that one's got to be played. He's gonna play some bangers, and
oh yeah.
I'll be watching.
So what broadcast is that?
Actually, I'll be honest, I don't know how to watch that one. It is the Turning Point USA alternative.
Oh no. Oh, jeez.
So I could tell you how to watch it. How to watch.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right,
Man.
let's find this. It's gonna be on. I think it's gonna be live on YouTube, and if you have your subscription to the Daily Wire, you should be good too.
Oh good.
Which
Yeah,
I'm
I'm set.
sure.
I'm set then.
Yeah.
I
Oh
can't
man.
find these props for the game, the pregame now. What will the last play of the first half be? What would you say, just off the top of your head, Darren? What is the short money for that to be?
Short money on it has to be a pass play or a kneel down.
Kneel down is minus 150. You got it. Pass play is plus 300. A field goal
Really?
is plus 400.
I think that's worth betting pass play and field goal.
Right? Because
And just
we're
hoping
saying
that one of them hit.
Set list. We're going with. I'm just.
no, you're saying that the most likely thing is a kneel down. I don't think so.
I mean, it depends. It just depends on the situation. If somebody doesn't have any momentum and they just want to get to halftime and make adjustments, but
yeah,
it's when you get that awkward amount of time when you only get like 10 or 20 seconds left, you're gonna kneel it out. You can't go down the field.
Missed field goal is plus 725. A made field goal is only plus 400. A rushing play is plus 550. That's
I love
interesting.
field goal at the end of the half. I love that bet.
Yeah,
that's crazy,
or passing play.
I like field goal more. They'll kneel. They would kneel before like a dumb Hail Mary, right?
Yeah,
that's true. That's actually a good point.
Because they don't want to. If they're within like 50 yards, they'll throw a Hail Mary. But what's the chance of them just being right there, rather than being at the like 35 of their own 35 or the 40, and then they don't want to throw the dumb pick or get strip sacked. Like they're going to be conservative there. It's kneel down.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I mean, obviously they could throw the Hail Mary, but I'm just kickers kick now. They kick.
What are the odds on a drop kick being the last play?
They don't have odds on that. You got to call them up.
Darren. Hey, you're going back to the Lombardi times back when your team was great, huh?
Yep.
So one sec, before you ask where can you watch this? This I heard when I was using the restroom. Peen. Basically, what I think is going to happen with this this alternative halftime show. It's urine, right? That's what it is. It's just a urination is what's happening. But where can you watch it? I think it's being broadcast live from Saudi Arabia, number one, and then I think it is available anywhere you get your news. WhiteHouse.gov.
I believe, it's on. It's gonna be live on YouTube. And since Greg has Daily Wire Plus subscription, he should be able to watch it on that as well.
It's either going to be at Saudi Arabia or it's going to be on the White House lawn.
Okay, well, how about this?
Those are two hilarious places to hold it.
Which lyrics will Green Day use in American Idiot? I'm not part of a
The gay
redneck.
slur?
I'm not part of a redneck agenda. That's plus 200. Or I'm not part of a MAGA agenda. That's minus 300.
They'll use redneck.
Yeah. No, he's been doing it.
Has he?
They're not gonna. They're not doing. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it would be funny if they do a whole anti-Trump Super Bowl. That's fine. I'm totally fine with it. If Green Day goes out there and does stuff, they're gonna next year. The halftime show is about to be Jelly Roll and Kenny Chesney, and that's gonna be what happens. Now, I have no dog in the fight in terms of who the Super Bowl halftime show should be. They give what they should say, and obviously, when you're on stage, you can do whatever you want. Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake, right? They can do what they want, but and that's different than this. But they're gonna use the toned down version on the live song, I think.
Okay, well, let me ask you this: Will Billy Joel Armstrong say Minnesota on stage? Yes or no?
I like that one. That's better because you could do that in an apolitical way, kind of. Realistically, that's more of an apolitical. Because if you're watching it and you see Green Day, a lot of the people that don't like or that love Trump probably like Green Day because they don't know what Green Day's been up to. They're insulated from that, so they're like, Minnesota. He hates Somalians too. When he's singing American Idiot, they're like, yeah, he going over on Waltz.
Well, anyways, the yes on saying Minnesota is minus 200. The no is plus 150. So
see, he's definitely there's way better chances of him saying Minnesota than mega agenda, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that Minnesota is much more likely to be said because that kind of is a less direct shot at that agenda.
Is this Xi Jinping's book? Is this where you're finding this, or is this on FanDuel?
This is on Bet Online.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, can we get these odds in America? Because I feel like the person doing it doesn't understand the odds.
This is Antigua, my friend. There is so much strange stuff. How about this one? You're gonna like this one, Sterling.
Little St. James.
Which massage parlor?
It's got people standing outside each of these with binoculars.
Right?
Like, in and out.
What? Is there any edge on that? Do you have any EV on this?
Yeah, it's a plus 300. How do you get plus 300? They think crap's staying in the area the next day?
How about this, Sterling?
They have crap just staying in San Francisco for the next day?
This one's weirded poorly this time. And let me tell you why. I think you know why, Sterling. Which team will Drake pick to win?
Yeah.
You think Drake's not going to pick his own team? Are we talking about Drake May, the NFL football star, or Drake, the recording artist?
Yeah, I mean,
but,
you know,
I mean, we all know who we're talking about.
My two favorite humans outside of my beloved mother and my girlfriend are both named Drake, and they're both synonymous with one word. When I talk ball, I talk Drake. When I talk anything else, I talk Drake. You know what I'm saying?
Who does he? Do you know who he picks though? Does he like the Pats?
He hasn't picked anybody yet. I think he's gonna pick Seattle. If I had to guess.
Seahawks are minus 130 for him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Pats are minus 110.
He'll be betting. He'll put like $2.5 million on one of them.
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
Kendall Jenner picked the Patriots, put $1 million on them.
Yeah.
With like a gambling help, and then she called Tom Brady and asked Tom Brady for help, and he's like, "Oh, fucking word
They're
jargon.
both good teams.
Yeah, they're both good. Hey Tom, how about you give some analysis? Kendall Jenner's got $1 million on the line here.
Well, they both are really nice guys.
What else is there? Anything for Bad Bunny? Guests?
Bad Bunny. Let's see. Oh, gosh. Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Will Chris Collinsworth say Emin Worry's last name incorrectly?
I don't even know how they would measure that. I don't
either.
Yeah, of course you will.
The yes is plus 250, which I think that's maybe
well, you just
smart.
Call him, what's his? Yeah, he'll just use the last initial. It's like how they don't say Smith and Jigba because people are scared.
Yeah.
They'll say Jackson Smith in. Is what I've heard an announcer say that.
Oh,
They get afraid.
horrible. Okay, how about this?
Yes.
How many Super Bowl highlights from we know which Super Bowl will be shown during the game? Over 1.5 or under 1.5? It's got to be over, right?
Over. Oh my god.
Easily.
That should
Dude,
be like
the over.
minus 10,000.
It's
That should be
plus
free.
150. These actually are broken, dude.
Plus 150? Just bet that
It's
right now. Yeah,
Yeah,
pause it and bet it right now.
150.
They're
Yeah,
going
I'm
to show the
taking.
Malcolm Butler interception during the Super Bowl. They're going to show Tom Brady throwing the touchdown to Edelman. They're going to show Gronk. They're going to show Russell Wilson and Doug Baldwin. They're going to show a whole bunch.
Oh yeah, no, they have to. To have that at 1.5 is actually ridiculous.
Yeah,
other
I was gonna say it should be like 2.5 or 3.5 at least.
Yeah, and to have that at plus money. Okay,
There
yeah,
should be a
saving
bet
that.
in there. There should be a bet in there for Cardi B, how many times she's seen. And I would bet the over, whatever it is. Because I think there's a chance she appears with Bad Bunny.
How many times will JSN be said? Over 2.5 or under 2.5?
Over. Every time he
Right?
catches the
That's
ball.
dude, it's plus 160. I don't understand.
What?
Oh no, sorry. That was wrong. That's over 2 times is minus 175. That one's incorrect.
That's an easy over. Still. It doesn't matter. You can give me over 5 times. Every time. So is it over under a catches is what? 5.5? 4.5? 5.5? I mean, you get better odds doing that, but even when he's not catching the ball, they're not going to use Jackson Smith and Najigba. They're going to use JSN.
How about this?
It's easier to say.
Will the broadcast mention Drake May is married to his middle school girlfriend?
100%.
Yes is plus 350, my friend.
She's viral on everything.
I know. They would be absolutely remiss to not mention that because it's been like the story of the year.
They're giving you. They're trying to suck you in. They want to make a degenerate. They want to make you absolutely an addict. This is legitimately giving.
It's working.
This is what Ronald Reagan did to neighborhoods in the 80s with crack.
Sprinkle a little bit in.
This is going to ruin communities right now. This is going to make young men absolutely destroyed in the next 8 to 10 months.
Well, that's the question. Is like
I haven't put you, Greg.
Dude, these
you might make $20,000 in this Sunday off these props, of these novelty props. And I'm going to see you because I'm moving. Obviously, I'm moving in a few months. And I'm going to come back here at some point, and I'm going to just see you coming on. I'm going to get off the highway, and you're going to hold a sign. I used to have things. And then Gigi Ping got me.
Yeah. It's actually ridiculous. Like, I need to look and see what the limits are on some of these bets because I'm sure they've got to be low.
It's $50 or $100 on all of them, or $25.
Yeah. But
I mean, I might make an account. Are you kidding me? This is a joke.
Dude, you should look these up. There's actually hilarious odds on it. I don't know how they're even making them. Like, how do you make that plus 300?
I mean, they're just throwing darts. Darren, you got any other ones? Or are you good?
I'm good. I
have about 45 more, by the way. I just went off the deep end. We got about 55 minutes left on this 4-hour podcast. It's okay. Okay. We're pretty good on all of them. I do think that there's a lot of good props here. Obviously, you go in line with what you think the game's going to be. I like the over. I lean Patriots, obviously, is what I've been saying. But even if I like the Seahawks with the over, I still can like a lot of these props. Obviously, don't bet everybody to score a touchdown. Don't bet everybody to have over rushing yards or receiving yards. You got to pick your players. You got to make a game script up in your head. This is just wise gambling advice. But on the novelty props, Kid Rock,
go crazy.
Green Day, Cardi B, all the people pregame, postgame, all the mentions by Collinsworth. Have some fun. That's where you really can have some fun. And if you have the ear of Charlie Puth, please email me or comment on this podcast on Spotify or YouTube or whatever, and let me know because I'll give you a piece. And I'm willing to gamble on this on anything if I get inside info. If there's an unlimited amount, I will put $100,000 on it. I will find a way to do it. Greg and I almost got in a fight on Thursday after tennis, and I said, put a mortgage loan on the game if you're so confident, buddy. And then I called him a little guy, and he said, "Little guy," and he stared down at me. And then now he's rocking a Shiner, and that's the real story of what happened. So I uppercutted him real quick. He got pulled back, got thrown out of the tennis club. That's unfortunate. They said no. They put you weren't there recently. They actually put a sign up there that said no Italians allowed. I can't believe you're the only Italian. Joe Palazzo, I guess, left. So there's 2. There's now 0. All because of that. Joe didn't like it. But anyways, okay, we're gonna have fun on the Super Bowl. Good luck to your team, Greg.
Yours as well. It's gonna be fun. I'm really excited.
I'm
Are you
excited
watching
too.
it at your place? Or are you guys gonna go out?
I'm watching it alone.
Yeah.
She flies back in on Saturday. She's in California right now. She flies back in on Saturday, and she was like, when both teams made it, I said, "Are you watching it here?" And she said she's gonna watch with friends. And I said, "You're rooting for the Patriots, right?" And she's like, "No, I'm rooting for the Seahawks." And I said, "That's a good idea that you're doing that."
What? She's actually gonna root for the Hawks?
Yeah.
She's a Seahawks fan, huh? Her brother's a Seahawks fan.
Well, Micah likes the Patriots and the Seahawks. He's a Seahawks fan and the Broncos and Travis Kelce. So he likes a lot of things. He's a beast.
Good for him.
He's gonna be rooting for the Seahawks, though, I think.
Well,
Yesterday he was watching the Madden. He was watching the Madden simulation.
I'm
And
glad.
he was
You found.
hyped up. He's a
Yeah.
dog.
I'm glad you found a lady that could class you up a little bit. Bring a little Seahawks into your life.
Well, if the Seahawks win this one, I might be going. I might be getting a hotel by myself. Just with,
Yeah. Well. Either way, I'm excited for this game. I personally couldn't have hope for a better opponent in the Pats. I think it's going to be exciting. It's a blessing to be here, and may the best team win.
Hey, may the best team win. Darren, you have any parting words?
I think that was well said, Greg. Let the best team win.
Should have said go Pack go.
No.
Okay. Love you, fellas. Darren, you and I will be back Sunday if the Patriots win. If not, this has been the best year of backseat quarterbacks yet. Our views have been through the roof, actually. We have a lot of subscribers on YouTube, and we are doing well on Spotify. So maybe we should get a sponsor next year. I don't fucking know. Like, maybe somebody wants to sponsor this. How about we fucking try? Okay. I'll be back Sunday regardless. I'm not going to drink during the game. That's a funny laugh. Okay. See ya.
See you.